Hello crypto world, and welcome back to the Accountant's Perspective. I'm your host, Michael Navarro. For those of you that are new, this is a cryptocurrency channel that is dedicated to cryptocurrency news. Let's start off by first going into the top 10 cryptocurrencies of the week. Let's see what we have here. Let's pull up the chart from coinmarketcap.com. We've got Bitcoin at number 1, positive 3.78% at 6,700. Ethereum positive 3%, Ripple positive 2.2%, Bitcoin Cash positive 4.7%, EOS positive 2.6%, Litecoin positive 2.74%, Stellar positive 2.34%, Cardano is positive 2.1%, IOTA is positive 0.15%, and Tron positive 6.87%. Alright, so those were the top 10 cryptocurrencies of the day according to coinmarketcap.com. Let's jump into the gainers of the week, and this is going to show the gainers over the past 7 days according to coinmarketcap.com. So let's go ahead and pull up that chart. And here's the top gainers. We have First Coin up an astounding 410%, unknown coin to me. One Root Network up 160%. Doka Demic positive 110%, Dascoin positive 106%, Pundi positive 96%. And when there's gainers, there's of course losers. Let's go ahead and look at the losers over the past 7 days. We have Merc, Skycoin, Hurify, Fargo Coin, and Banca. Alright, so those were the top 10 cryptocurrencies of the week, the gainers and the losers. Let's go ahead and look at the 3-month chart because I really want to put this into perspective. We've been seeing a lot of ups and downs recently, but I think we need to take a step back and we need to look at the 3-month chart. So let's go ahead and look at the 3-month chart. If we look at the 3-month chart, we see that towards the middle of or the end of March, we were at about 316 billion in terms of total market capitalization. And as we approach the end of quarter 1, as we approached March 31st, that is, we started slipping down to the $250 billion range. Now, once quarter 2 started, we started to see a rally, mostly because George Soros and the Rockefeller family started to join the space. Also, some were stating that the tax deadline was going to be a rally point for cryptocurrencies. Now, I don't know if it was because of the hype or if it was because of the fact that these new entrants actually did raise the price, but starting in April and all the way through May 5th, we saw the price go all the way up all the way up to $470 billion in terms of total market capitalization. We peaked around May 5th. Now, if we see the next half of the chart, which is the right side of the chart, we see that we started declining. As we approach consensus, somewhere around May 14th, the price started to decline. We saw a small rise because of consensus, but then there just wasn't enough to keep that momentum going, and we started to take another dip. And so we've been on this downtrend recently, and right now the market cap is at approximately $288 billion, which is basically where we were at the beginning of quarter 2. So I just wanted to take that time just to go ahead and give everybody a perspective of what's been happening over the past 3 months. The chart that we just saw was the total market cap chart according to coinmarketcap.com. It wasn't Bitcoin, it wasn't Ethereum. It's basically a combination of all of the coins that are featured on coinmarketcap.com, and it does show you a downtrend as we ended quarter 1, and then as we started April, and all of April we had a very positive trend, and then from May 5th through today, basically, we've had sort of this downtrend. And today, over the past 24 hours, we've been seeing some positive movement. But at this point, I don't think we know whether there's going to be continued positive movement. We do know that Binance has invested $1 billion. We do know that EOS launched not too long ago. IOTA released Cubic. But the most pressing matter for most, I think, is the fact that the SEC and the CFTC has been looking very closely at Ethereum and Bitcoin. And today, well, on June 14th, the SEC Director of the Division of Corporation Finance, Mr. William Hinman, remarked at the Yahoo Finance All Markets Summit Crypto. And this was a very important remark because this is what everybody was waiting for. It's basically a remark by one of the top directors at the SEC, and it basically he basically remarks at that crypto trade show that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not considered securities, according to his opinion. Now, the reason he says this is because they are decentralized in nature, and there isn't a third party whose efforts are a key determining factor in the enterprise. On top of stating that Ethereum and Bitcoin are not securities, he goes on to talk about some of the fundamentals that would make a digital asset a security offering or an investment contract. And one of the key things that he states is the fact that tokens that are sold to non-users to develop an enterprise would fall into the Securities Act. He goes on to say that even though you call it a token or a coin, it doesn't eliminate it from being scrutinized or being investigated by the SEC. And so this is what they've said about most ICOs, but they have also said that there are some criteria that will make a digital asset not fall into the Securities Act. And they also mention that even though the initial crowdfunding that developed a project could be considered a security offering, the evolution of the coin and the development of the platform could turn that same token, could reclassify that token from a securities offering to simply a utility token. And a utility token is basically anything that is used for a specific good or service on a specific platform. So there's a lot of information here. I've went ahead and I've posted the link to this in the comments in the description of the video. It's sec.gov. So go ahead and read through the entire thing. There's a lot of really valuable information here. He does add 6 factors to consider when assessing whether a digital asset is offered as an investment contract and is thus a security. And he also adds 7 points to, quote, prompt thinking when assessing whether a digital asset functions more like a consumer item, which would categorize it as a token. All right, so that was those were the remarks of Mr. William Hinman, the director of the SEC, the corporation, the Division of Corporation Finance. So the next topic and the last topic is regarding Square Inc. The New York Department of Financial Services approved Square Inc.'s application for a virtual currency license. Square Inc. announced in January that it would be selling Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin. Square Inc. announced in January that it added a feature on its Cash App to buy and sell Bitcoin. As of today, New York Department of Financial Services approved Square Inc., which is the Cash App, to go ahead and do business. In other words, allow New York users of the Cash App to buy and sell Bitcoin in New York. So, the total number of Bitcoins that Square Inc. sold in Q1 was $34.1 million. So the first quarter that Square Inc. Involved itself in cryptocurrencies, it did sell $34.1 million worth of Bitcoin. It could be the reason that Square Inc. applied for the New York virtual currency license, or perhaps that's what the original plan was. Either way. So this brings a total of 9 firms that have been approved by the New York Department of Financial Services for a virtual currency charter or license. I'm going to go ahead and mention the last 8 companies that have been approved for a virtual currency charter or license in New York, and we're going to pretty much wrap the show up after that. And the 8 companies that have been approved are Zappo Inc., which is with an X, Genesis Global Trading Inc., Bitflyer USA, Coinbase Inc., XRP2, Circle Internet Financial, Gemini Trust Company, and Paxos, which is formerly known as ItBit Trust Company. All right, so that's all we have for today, guys. For those of you that were new, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching for the first time. If you have any comments on the video, we're always looking to improve. If you like the video or if you learned something, please go ahead and hit the like button. We're going to be launching a website in the next 4 to 6 months, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, this has been The Accountant's Perspective.